Good morning, guys. It is March 1st, 2023. This video, I'm going to talk about vacuum cleaners are not a one-size-fits-all. Now, I have touched on this in the past, and I'm going to touch on it again. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Everybody's home is different. Everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody's abilities are different. Everybody's preferences are different. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to explain a few things on a few of these machines. Now, I have many machines that I recommend. And I do plan on looking into them more and actually having them in my house, testing them, seeing how they really hold up. Because honestly, you can recommend stuff based on being able to be repaired and parts are available and stuff. But you can't always say it confidently if you haven't had experience with it. So, but we'll have to see what happens. I do gear more towards the higher end machines. As you guys know, any of you who've been with me for a while, you already know that I tend to gear towards higher end machines. And it's not that I don't like budget machines or lower end machines. I do like them. However, with the higher end machines, generally they're just built better and they're not trying to be flashy or crazy. They're more designed with longevity and support over the years. Now, I get a lot of people who kind of get upset with me for saying that I don't like certain machines and that I like certain machines. Honestly, we all have our opinions. We all have our differences. And we don't have to agree. And I basically want to be honest and just let people know, because honestly, like, yeah, if you're gentle with your machines and you are a very low traffic household, maybe you're just a single person living on your own, whether you have pets or no pets, then yeah, like a lower end, budget machine from Walmart may last you quite a while, and you may not be as hard on it because it's just you. But if you're a family of, say, like 6 people and a lot of little kids and pets, and you're constantly vacuuming like at least 3-4 times a week, and you have quite a large house, then yeah, I would recommend getting something more higher grade. And especially if you are using a machine for commercial or business purposes, because um, just generally speaking, when you use something commercially and you take it, you know, into all kinds of environments and everything, whether you intend to or not, it's just going to be beaten up hard. And, if you get a piece of junk, then it may last you only a couple months. Then it's going to be falling apart. You know, so there's just lots of different variables. Um, and I also want to touch on this. A lot of people kind of criticize me for recommending Kirby's because, apparently people think that they're the heaviest vacuum on the planet and that they're the most ridiculous, overly large machine that there is. And that's just simply not true. I mean, there there is truth to it. I will say, um, yes, it is very large. Yes, it is very heavy. But there are a lot of other machines that are equally as large and heavy, if not larger and heavier. Um, and no, I don't think that the Kirby is the best vacuum on the planet. Um, there, bottom line is, there is no such thing as the best vacuum cleaner in the world. What is the best vacuum cleaner for you may not be the best vacuum cleaner for somebody else. You know, and to be honest, there's all kinds of variables when it comes to vacuum cleaners. Um, I know that people are on a budget. I know that people, um, especially the average consumer, they just want something to get the job done. And I completely understand that 100%. And I'm not condemning people who buy certain machines. I'm not doing any of that. Basically, I'm just a guy on YouTube trying to help people understand what's available, what's out there, what options are available, and what is the best for your money. Because honestly, somebody might have like $1,500 at their disposal for a new Kirby. You know, I know not everybody does, but there's there's somebody out there who wouldn't mind that. And do I think it's worth the $1,500 to $2,000 that they try and ask you for a Kirby? No, absolutely not. I think that price is absolutely absurd. Um, I think, I mean, the only thing that I can see from that is yes, it will last you decades and decades and decades and decades. So, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's like horrible, but at the same time, I mean, to be honest, I don't think they should be priced any higher than 1,000. Um, that's just my personal opinion. Um, but I do believe that the best value when you're talking brand new is between $500 and $800. You know, just considering like what else is out there. I mean, I think that's a fairly fair price. Now, I know that the Kirby is more than just a vacuum cleaner. It's got all the tools. Excuse me. It's got the shampooer. It's got the all the stuff like that. Now, no, not everybody wants that, and you don't have to have all that. Um, but it is available, and um, so yeah. But some people do prefer Sanitaires. Some people do prefer Oryx. Some people do prefer, Hoovers and Bissells and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, basically, what I try to do is I try to be as honest as possible, because I don't want to recommend a machine, even if it is one that I absolutely love and I swear by. I don't want to recommend a machine to somebody who won't be able to use it, because there's not really a whole lot in terms of being able to use something. Let me just put it this way. If you're not able to use it, then what's the purpose of having it in your house? I mean, let's just be honest. So, you know, if you if you don't want certain machines, or you think it's too much, or you just simply can't afford certain machines, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I want to make this is the whole point of this video. I'm trying to make this point very clear because I have gotten a lot of criticism, and um, you know, I I even have average consumers who have commented on my videos and said they have Kirby's and they love them. So it's not just a collector slash enthusiast kind of thing. There are average consumers that don't mind them. And, vacuums are, like I said, vacuums are just not a one size fits all. There are so many out on the market. Um, there are some that I don't quite prefer, and there are some that I don't mind. Um, but at the end of the day, as long as you are happy with your purchase and the decision you've made, and you can get the most value for your money out of that machine, you know, it's going to be, it's going to serve you well. And the bottom line is, if you take care of it, it's going to take care of you. You know, yes, you can make a Walmart vacuum cleaner last for quite a long time if you take care of it. Now, I will say that in a few cases, it doesn't really matter like how gentle you are with something. I mean, some machines are decent and some of them are just pieces of crap. I mean, I'm telling you. So, there, because I have been criticized for that, like, well, you just gotta take care of it and blah blah blah. Yes, that is very true, but even if you take the most care that you possibly can, some machines are just pieces of junk. I mean, and so, and if I find that something is a piece of junk, I'm gonna let people know so they can avoid it and don't have to deal with that. Um, and so, but yes, but yeah, I mean, if you're a senior citizen, if you're a disabled person, if you have certain things, I mean, there is no shame in getting something that's lightweight, but I will say that just because a machine is heavy doesn't mean that it's bad. You know, it may not be good for you if you aren't as strong, if you have, you know, medical issues that limit how much you can lift, um, and everything. So I completely understand that, and I'm not saying that, you know, there's something wrong with you if you can't lift a heavy machine. Um, I have never said that, and I never will. But on the other side, if you are somebody who likes the exercise and is a person who, lifts weights and stuff, honestly, I don't think it's going to be a problem because, to be honest, I think, you know, at least in our society in the last, you know, 15, 20 years, it's just, people have kind of frowned upon, like, having to lift something heavy. And, it's not always logical because, you know, that's what keeps you strong. That's what keeps you um, in good shape. Now, as I said, if you don't have the strength, to do it and it's going to hurt you, and you have a medical reason that you can't lift a heavy machine or a large machine or anything, that is totally okay. Those are very, very, very valid. There is, I am not talking to those people. Um, but, you know, I think there is a balance because, like I said, vacuum cleaners are not a one size fits all. That goes for weight, that goes for features, that goes for the machine setup, that goes for price, that goes for performance, that goes for everything. And no vacuum cleaner is perfect. None. There is not a single vacuum cleaner out there on the market that is absolutely perfect. There are pros and cons to every machine. There are pros and cons to every scenario, every situation. Basically, on this channel, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people find the best machine for them. And the best machine that will actually last them and that they can have aftermarket support, when a brush roll wears out or when, something breaks or when, you know, so there's all kinds of situations. Um, and, you know, if your price range is, $50 to $100, that is totally okay. You get the best that you can with that money, you know? And I am going to be talking about, I mean, there are a couple machines that I think are pretty darn good for $50 to $100 in that ballpark. I think they're pretty darn good for what they are. Now, they wouldn't be necessarily as well built as, say, an Auric or a Sanitaire or a Kirby. Not even close. But you've got to look at it from the price perspective because, you get what you pay for. If you're paying like $500,000, $800,000 for a Kirby, excuse me, um, you know, yeah, you should expect it to be a tank and built like an indestructible, massive tank, because for that money, I don't want something that's gonna fall apart. You know, if I'm spending that money, I demand quality, reliability, and performance. It's not optional, it's required for that price range. But if you're looking at, you know, a Bissell or a Hoover or something, yeah, there are some that are absolute junk. But there are some that are pretty decent. And you just have to take care of them and you have to treat them nicely, treat them well, and keep them clean, keep them maintained, and do the best with what you have. And believe me, I completely understand people's budgets. I completely understand their limits. And I want people to be able to get a good machine for whatever price range that they're in. I've had people ask me for recommendations in lower price ranges. I've had people ask me for recommendations in sort of medium price ranges, like $200, $300. And then I've had people ask me for recommendations in, the higher price ranges, like $500, $600 and up. So, you know, all that to say, I'm not just fixed on the higher price ranges because I totally understand that not everybody can afford that, you know, and if you don't have the money, it's not smart to go into debt just to get a high-end machine because you can't afford it. It's not, it is not a good idea at all. So, anyway, I just wanted to kind of make this video and talk about that. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's all, it all depends on you, your circumstances, your situation, your household, your family, your lifestyle, your budget. Many, many different variables. And that's just the bottom line. I mean, so anyway, I hope this clarified some stuff and kind of gave you some more information of where I'm coming from, because I want to help people find vacuums that will last them, and I want to help people repair, service, clean, and keep whatever machine they have running, no matter what it is, doing the best you can. Because vacuum cleaners are not cheap. Like, even $50 to $100, that's not cheap. That's quite a bit of money. And so, I'm trying to help people save their money, get the most out of their money, out of what they have. And, if they're looking for another machine, I will let them know, what's available. And I am never going to just flat out push high-end expensive machines on people right away, especially if they've made it clear that, I can only afford like $100 or so, because that's not It's not good. And, you know, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Been rambling, but hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.